Hey guys, welcome back to another Recent Games Pickups video. And if you noticed the thumbnail, well, this video is going to have some amazing games in it, but not just one amazing game, no. There are 3 role-playing games in this video that I thought I would never own, but thanks to you guys, you awesome fans, I do. It's going to blow you away. Let's take a look. I'm just going to get right to it. I was contacted by an amazing fan. Her name is Tina. She also goes by Doom Goddess. And she was like, hey, you don't have Earthbound in your collection and you need it. And I was like, what? Are you serious? She donated to me Earthbound complete in the box. And I got to tell you guys, I was stunned. I was taken aback because I don't know if you know, but this game has been going up in price. This game is getting incredibly expensive to find. As a matter of fact, here in Seattle, a local shop called Pink Gorilla had a copy of this recently, and they sold it, I believe, for $700 or $800. Yes. You know what? I mean, it blows me away the fact that she didn't even want to sell this. She wanted to donate it to my channel. Tina, you completely, like I said, you just blew me away with this. I thank you very much. But what was really cool about that actually is that she sent an entire box of goodies, including a bunch of really cool stuff, man. Just random stuff that she knew I would like. And I just want to kind of point this out because you guys know I'm into music, but this is a really cool Nirvana box set that's in this metal tin. And again, it was just like, wow, this is so amazing. So cool, like 4 CDs worth of stuff, plus a really high quality book in here, and a bunch of other stuff, like books, comic books, a couple other games as well. Tina, you are a super fan. I thank you very, very much for that. Speaking of super fans, there's a guy that I met by the name of Machine Games Texas. And he's got a really cool YouTube channel where he goes into thrift stores a lot with those glasses with the hidden camera on them. And he finds a bunch of really cool stuff in his hometown. Anyways, he's always on the lookout for really unusual stuff from my collection. And he's texting me all the time. He's a super cool guy. He sent me a box of goodies, including the original Tomb Raider. This is the original trapezoid box version of it. This is the version that I got when this game first came out, and I was blown away by this game like a lot of people. And I just love these original Eidos boxes, and so it's really cool to get all of these in my collection. But that's not all. He also found a very difficult game to find. It's Tron 2.0, but it's the big box PC version. You rarely see this version out there because most people who bought this either got it for the original Xbox, which it was an exclusive for on the consoles, or you got just the jewel case version of it. To find the big box version of this, frankly, is really tough to do. I've never actually seen it before. And I really like this game. It's actually a first-person shooter by Monolith. Really fun and interesting game, and it's cool to have that in my collection. But he also threw in a bunch of other interesting things in this box he sent me. I'm going to just show you a couple of them. Here is the Millennium Falcon. Now this is a LCD game, I guess is what you call these, where they're kind of simplistic. You know, this isn't like an amazing game, but man, look at this. It's an awesome case for this. So I just, you know, he knows I'm a big Star Wars fan. I've never seen this before. And yeah, thanks a lot, man. Also in that box, he also threw in a Persona 3. I believe this is for the PSP, but anyways, it's a hat, which I thought was pretty awesome. Dude, thank you very much. You treat me really well, man. I appreciate it. All right, well, next up, let's go a little bit newer. I've been playing a lot of my PlayStation 3. And I've been kind of going back and playing some games I haven't really given enough love to. And some of you might be surprised to learn this, but I actually really like the single player of the Call of Duty series. And I know a lot of people are probably groaning, oh, Call of Duty. You know what, man? I swear, those single player missions, especially in the Modern Warfare trilogy, are some of the most amazing single player first person shooter games you can play. And I had played the first Modern Warfare game, the first and the second actually, and I hadn't played the third. And so I got this really cheap, of course, played through it, and I was blown away. So much fun. You know, I was thinking as I was playing this, is like, there are some levels, like single levels of this game that would be the equivalent of entire other games. The amount of detail that they put into this is incredible. So, you know, you can definitely see where the money is spent on these, and I actually really like it. Now, you're probably wondering, well, most people play these for the multiplayer, and I totally get it. The thing is, I just don't have the time or the patience for that, so I get them cheap when they come out, you know, or I get them basically years later when you can get them for, you know, $5–10, and I really enjoy them. Speaking of, I finally picked up and played Saints Row the 4th, and this game is hilarious. My wife and I were playing this and laughing our ass off. There's so many sick and wrong parts to this game. It's laugh out loud funny. I really actually like the collecting aspect of this. There's these little orbs that you can collect that you can then cash in for power upgrades and things like that. And you know, you're basically just jumping around on rooftops for a while, but playing through crazy missions. There are hilarious characters in it. Again, if you can find this game cheap, I highly recommend it. And then finally, this is MotorStorm Pacific Rift. This is a PlayStation 3 exclusive. I've been meaning to pick this up for a while, and I was glad I did. This is one of the most stunning racing games of last generation for sure. Even playing this today, I was like, wow, this game is really, really beautiful, really amazing. Had a ton of fun playing this. I will say though, now that I played a couple of these MotorStorm games, I like them, but I don't like the floaty physics. It kind of feels like you're on the moon a little bit when you're jumping, and you know, I just wish the controls were a little bit tighter, or at least they gave you an option to tighten them up. That said, it's a fantastic game, and I had a ton of fun playing this. Now let's get back to some PC gaming goodness. My buddy John Hancock came out to a party that I had a while back, and he found a really cool game, Forgotten Realms Dungeon Hack. And the reason why I want to kind of highlight this game is that, well, to be honest, I haven't played it yet, but I've seen this box, and I just want to point this out because this box is so freaking cool. Again, one of the reasons why I love collecting big box PC games is because of the box art. It's like album art. I mean, this could have been like, I don't know, like an Iron Maiden or a Judas Priest album cover, or maybe a Dio album cover. It would have been freaking awesome. So, but I really do like those old school role-playing games that SSI put out. And this is just part of that collection. So thanks very much, John. And then I got a donation from a guy that some of you may know. His name's Clint, and he runs a really popular YouTube channel called Lazy Game Reviews. I'm subscribed to him. He focuses a lot on old school PC games, and as a matter of fact, he has one of the most impressive game collections I've ever seen. It's stunning. And as a matter of fact, he recently reorganized it to a point where he built out this room with all these shelves. If you like PC games, you should definitely subscribe to him. It's incredible. I'm so jealous. But he's a very cool guy too, and so he noticed I was missing some games, so he sent me some, including the original Might and Magic. And this is I was like, wow, dude, this is really awesome. It's the Commodore 64 version. And this, back in the day, was one of the most amazing games. It was one of the most amazing series of all time. I don't think I've ever played the original, but back in the day, I think it was 3 and 4. I think those were the ones that you could install together and make this sort of world of Zine. But anyways, just an amazing historic RPG series. It's awesome to have this in my collection. He sent me a bunch of stuff. I'm only going to highlight a couple things here. He knows I worked at Sierra, and while at Sierra, I was there when we released Lode Runner: The Legend Returns. And I didn't have a copy of this anymore. He found it, and it's complete. It's unopened, which I thought was pretty awesome. And again, I remember when we originally released this, and you know, looking at this box, I'm just like, wow. Reminds me of sitting at my desk at Sierra with just stacks of these games that were coming out on shelves. And so yeah, it's definitely nostalgic for me, so thank you very much. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I am a huge Star Wars fan, and that really started when I was very young and collecting action figures. So it's probably no surprise that when amiibos were announced, I was like, huh, I I could get into that. But the truth is, I'm not crazy like a lot of people. I really only want to collect what I like. And so, you know, people wondered if I was collecting amiibos. The answer is yes, but they're only the ones that I actually care about. So I don't have a ton, but of course I did have to pick up Samus because I think she just looks fantastic, and I'm a huge fan of Metroid. But I also picked up Captain Falcon, which I thought was a pretty cool one here. And then the last one I got so far is Fox. Fox looks amazing. The thing is, though, is that I'm not really interested in Super Smash Brothers. I'm more interested in really just the figure, kind of like with Star Wars. Although it'll be really interesting to see what Nintendo does going forward, because obviously these things are very popular. So my hope is that, you know, I'll collect the ones I like and I'll use them in the games that I like. But other than that, I'm not going to be obsessed with it like a lot of people. Moving on, my buddy Reggie came over recently and he brought over a ton of homebrew games and reproduction carts, and he donated to me this one I thought was really interesting, and that is The Goonies. Some of you might be going, what's the big deal? Well, in North America, we did not get on the NES the original Goonies. Now, it's my understanding this probably started off as an arcade game, and it was on a bunch of systems in Japan, and maybe even Europe, but here, we didn't get it. So he had, I don't know if he had this made or what, but basically, yeah, it's like The Goonies on NES. And again, the label quality is fantastic. So really cool thing for my collection. I'm really getting into homebrews and repros. So if you can't tell, because Reggie and I have so far done 2, and we're actually working on a 3rd one here. So another really cool donation to my channel is a guy named Jonathan. I follow him on Twitter, and he created this. And this is a NES controller, but it's modded to work with an Atari 2600. And I am a huge Atari 2600 fan, but the the Atari joystick, though, it can be pretty tough on your hands, especially when you're doing a lot of gaming. It's got that solid base on it, and it just kind of cramps your hands, you know, and you're holding on to the joystick. And so he sent this to me, and I gotta tell you, it's amazing. Like, this thing is actually really cool. It works awesome on Atari games. So I'll actually put a link in the description below, because I believe he sells these. So anyways, thanks very much, Jonathan. This is a cool addition. A friend of mine, his name is JC, is another big game collector in the Seattle area. But lately he's been kind of paring down his collection and either donating some stuff to me or doing some trades. So I want to show you some stuff that I got in my collection from him, including this, which I thought was really cool. It's Gamelon from Lunar Silver Star Story Complete. And I think this was it was a promotional item. He used to work at a couple different retro gaming stores, and I believe that's where he got this. So a cool addition to my collection, although I haven't played Lunar yet, so I need to. I have no excuse other than I've just been really busy. But anyways, this is a pretty cool looking thing, and that's awesome to have in my collection. And then also for my birthday, which was pretty recently, he knows I'm a big Metroid fan, and he realized I didn't have Metroid Fusion in the box. So he gave this to me for my birthday, and I was pretty excited, actually, because like I said, Metroid Fusion and Metroid Zero Mission are some of my favorite games ever on the Game Boy Advance. So thanks, JC. Lately, I've been getting into more homebrew games, especially with the videos I've been doing with Reggie. And I found one for the Atari 2600 that I thought was pretty cool. That is called Pinata, and this is sold by Atari Age. Now, what's kind of unique about this is that it has 4 original games on one cartridge. And that's pretty unusual, because there's not a lot of room on these cartridges for one game, let alone 4. So that's kind of neat, and I thought that was cool. But also, it supports the Atari Vox attachment. This is a third-party attachment that came out recently to add voice to, you know, it's basic voice, but to add it to old Atari games. So kind of cool to own this. And also, this is pretty neat here, where I got sent by the guy who creates these. For cleaning cartridges, whether it's Atari or NES or Super NES or Genesis, it's called the 1-Up card. And basically what this is it's a fairly stiff card that has these 2 pads on it for cleaning your cartridges. And it also includes the fluid. Now, a lot of people use Q-tips. I use Q-tips, but sometimes Q-tips kind of, well, you have to kind of tighten them a little bit, otherwise they start to shred. you know, it doesn't work that great. So I was actually pretty interested in this, and it works very well. So I just kind of want to point this out. I like sharing with you guys some things that I think are good for collectors that are of high quality, and this is definitely one of them. I highly recommend it. If you are a collector and you do a lot of cleaning, you might want to check it out. All right, guys, we're getting close to the end here, and I have 3 amazing games to show you that I didn't know if I was ever going to get back in my collection. Let's start off with a game that was sent to me by a dude named Chad. If you might remember, Chad, a couple videos ago, sent me an amazing unopened copy of Fallout 2, big box version. Well, he found the original Fallout as well. Big box version, sent it to me. Dude, this is a game that I didn't know if I'd ever have this back in my collection because it's getting really hard to find, and he offered to send it to me, and I was thrilled to death. So Chad, thank you, man. This is awesome to have in my collection. Moving on, a dude named Tim, who runs a YouTube channel called Rookervision, he sent me a game that again was like, holy shit, dude, are you sure you want to send it to me? Okay. This is getting really hard to find too. Another role-playing game on the PC. This is the Elder Scrolls Daggerfall, big box version of it, and this is getting really hard to find. One of the things I love about this box is that it has that kind of foil cover to it, and it's kind of notorious for that. I love this box. As you know, in some of my videos, I actually wear a t-shirt of this. And I never thought I'd own this. I was like, wow, dude, thank you very much. It's such a beautiful box, such an amazing, iconic game. You know, any serious role-playing fan would love to have this in their collection. So thank you very much, Tim. And then to wrap it up here, I was contacted by this guy named Derek, who asked me if I wanted to have a game that he had. He had found it, I believe, sealed, which is very hard to find. And, you know, did I want to add it to my collection? To be fair, actually, for this one we did a trade, and even so, he was very generous. He was only looking for, you know, some common stuff, and I don't think he's really much of a PC collector. A lot of people are going to be pretty shocked that I have this. Some people may not even know what it is. That is Elder Scrolls Legend Battlespire. So probably some of you out there are going, what is this game? I've never heard of it. And others are going, holy shit. So I showed Daggerfall. When Daggerfall came out, Bethesda started working on some side games. Redguard was one of them, and Battlespire was another one. This actually takes place, I believe it uses the Daggerfall engine, but it's a survival horror game. Very hard to find, almost impossible unopened. And if you go look in the prices of this game, you're going to be kind of shocked. Again, I gotta be honest, with all of these games that people sent me in this video, I was like really shocked. From Earthbound to Fallout to these 2 Daggerfall to these Elder Scrolls games, I was like really stunned. I was almost actually to tears. I was like, holy shit, like I can't find these on my own. And it's amazing that fans like you want to send them to me and put them in my collection. So you guys are pretty freaking awesome, I have to say. I know I say that every video, but it's so true. You guys are amazing. I really, really appreciate it. Thanks, guys, for watching this video. Thanks very much for subscribing. Comment below. Have you played Battlespire? One of the funny things about this game is that it's sealed, and I'm not going to open that because it's worth so much. Have you played it? Do you have it in your collection? I'd love to know. Thanks for watching. Take care. Oh yeah, check out those 4 games right there. Oh yeah, baby. I bet you Prince could probably write a sexy slow jam dedicated to them. Probably sell 1 million records. Oh yeah, Prince. Let's make it happen. Hey, if you like videos like this and other ones, I release new videos every week, so check out my channel and also my website. Thanks for watching.